Hello everybody, Nora back again. I'm here with my review of Hold by Michael Donkor. Okay, where to start? I guess I'll just start with what this book is about. This book is about two young women and a child, and we follow their bonds of friendship and dive into their daily lives and try to uncover the little secrets that they have along the way. You have Belinda, the 17-year-old house girl. For those who don't know, house girls are quite popular in West Africa. Usually, you have someone whose family sends the child out to a more well to do family to take care of them. So, basically, like a maid, but usually younger, the pay is not as good. It's usually those children that the family believe that okay, they cannot take care of them on their own. They will rather the children go out to fend for themselves and send money back home. So Belinda and Mary, two of the characters that take quite a prominent role in this book, are both house girls for a particular family in Ghana. And you have Belinda, who is 17-year-old. She's older. She's teaching Mary, who is 11, the ropes as they both take care of the huge house that the family they work for live in. And then one day, a friend of their employer comes and asks that Belinda be allowed to come with her to London so that she could be a friend, a companion for the woman's own daughter, Amma, because apparently Amma has been going through some things and the woman is worried, but she's seen how Belinda interacts with Mary, who Belinda treats as a younger sister, and she hopes that Belinda can be a positive influence in the life of Amma, a daughter. So that's basically what the story is about. We're following Belinda as she travels from Ghana to London, as she acclimatizes to the place and the secrets we uncover about every other person and herself along the way. Okay, so that's what the story is about. Now, language. The author, I would say, is a painter. I know you're wondering how is an author a painter, but it's the way he uses literary devices, the way he uses metaphors and similes, personification there, symbolism there. It's like he has a toolbox of figures of speech and he just picks one and uses it, and in so doing, he paints such a vivid picture of what is describing that it sticks with you. If you close your eyes, you can picture to a T every single thing and every single imagery it wants you to see with your mind's eyes. It's so vivid and so beautiful that you just stop and you wonder. Now, sometimes it can get a little bit too much. Sometimes I'm just wondering, like, just go straight, give me a Stephen King type description, just go straight to it. But no, that is not his style. His style is that he wants you to know that he knows how to use these literary devices and he's going to use it well. That's the language with regards to how he writes. The language with regards to the characters is a bit different. When it's the characters' dialogue, when the characters are speaking, it's quite simple and a bit jagged in some way. Like when you start on a thought and then you cut off midway and you expect the audience to have filled in the blanks and then you just continue, which I find it a very interesting way to use dialogue. I'm not used to it. I tend to like my writings being in like full sentences, but at the same time I am aware that when you're talking with friends, it's kind of like you do not pen your thoughts down like in carefully stilted words. You talk all over the place when you're excited and you're talking with friends. But which was what I found interesting, because sometimes we're not talking with friends but they still spoke like that. And I guess it's also rooted in the fact that the character he was talking through. Belinda, for example, she does not have a GCSE. Her schooling was interrupted. So she would have like if I was to put it in simpler terms, maybe a ninth grade education. That's probably where she stopped. So when she's speaking, very simple language, but sometimes she breaks because she's trying to look for the appropriate word to use in that situation. And I think it's beautiful the way he told it, because as she goes to school, as she grows older, as the months pass, as a year passes, you see the gradual shift and change in the way she uses words, especially when she's talking with others. Amma, who is also 17, but she's in school, she just finished taking her AS exam, she's preparing for her A2 exams, so more educated, but I guess to suit her, to further pass on the type of energy that she exudes, Amma speaks in jagged sentences sometimes. She starts a thought, she drops it, she moves on. Sometimes she speaks like an adult, sometimes she speaks like a teenager, and then she's back to speaking like an adult again, and it can be confusing at times, but it still works for her in a way. So yes, it also is also very funny. This book is very funny, but most of the humor I will attribute to Mary. Mary is a delight. She's funny, she's sassy, she's unapologetic, she's wise beyond her years. And then sometimes she just says things and you remember, you're like, oh my god, you're an 11-year-old. Of course you would say something like that. Of course you would speak like that. It's so funny. There's some turns and there's some ways he uses words that you just find yourself chuckling out loud. But yeah, I think Mary is a riot. I love her. So I'm aware that there are quite a lot of male authors that suck at writing women, which was what I was worried about when I picked up this book, because it's a book that centers women. You have Belinda, you have Mary, you have Amma, you have Nana. So I was worried that, okay, this is a book that centers women, written by a man. Would I hate it? No, I did not. This is an amazing book from a woman's perspective, written by a man, and I was not disappointed. Like, she could easily be any other woman I know in person. She could be my friend. Sometimes some of the characters reminded me of my mom. Some of the characters reminded me of people I work with. It was real, and there was no annoying depiction of women's boobs and how sensual they are, because some men are idiots and some men do not know how to write women to save their lives. But nah, Michael Dunker did a good job. Speaking of women, so I guess I will just talk a little bit about the characters, before I go to the themes and if I like the book and the parts I didn't really like about the book. Okay, so the women, we have Belinda. Like I said, she's not so educated. She's an house girl. She's coming to London for the first time. So a lot of the stories through her eyes, and it was fascinating to see her awe and her confusion and her trying to acclimatize herself to a society she's not really familiar with. But as we follow that journey, we see just how strong she is, because Belinda had to leave her village to go work with the people that employed her as a house girl, and then she had to leave that house just after she had gotten used to that environment to move to London. And in each situation she adapted. So she adapts, but at the same time she also has OCD, which is sprinkled through the book, and you get so used to it that it's like halfway through that you stop. Like, I stopped and I was like, oh, wait a minute, she is obsessive compulsive. Like, it took a while because it was woven into a part of her character that for a moment you think, oh, the reason why she keeps cleaning like this is because she's a house help, she's used to cleaning. But then you realize that she cleans at every point in time. She cleans to process things. She cleans when she does not want to think about things. She cleans when she's sad, when she's happy. She cleans when she wants to feel in control. And then you realize that it was probably birthed from early years living with her mother. And then when you understand the story of how she grew up and why she grew up that way, and her mother and who her mother was, and the secrets she had kept bottled up all this while, then you see it and then you realize that, oh my god, she is obsessive compulsive, and she's amazing. She is also so empathetic. She's so intuitive. She's so nurturing, but at the same time, she's flawed. And there's a part in the book when Amma confesses a secret to her, and the way she lashes out, the way she reacts, it takes you aback, because for so long you've been convinced that Belinda is perfection itself, and then at that moment in time you're like, oh no, she's human, she has flaws. It makes her even more beautiful, more endearing, although in that particular scene and for like a couple of scenes after that, you will hate her, or at least I hated her, but I loved her. And then at the end, she more than redeemed herself. Of course, I've already described Mary. Mary is 11. She's young, she's precocious, she always asks questions, very unapologetic. She has such a love for life. She's so vibrant that she sticks with you. This 11-year-old house girl who has even less of a schooling than Belinda does. She's a star. She's fucking fantastic. And then there's Amma, who is 17, who is clearly depressed, although it takes a while for you to realize that, who is messy, and such a rule follower, but now she's breaking the rules. She doesn't want to fit into this neat little bubble that her family has put her in, that her mother has put her in for so long, and she's lashing out. And it's so interesting to watch because here is someone who is sick and tired of always following the rules, and we are dropped right in the middle of the narrative, so we do not understand why she's lashing out this way. We just know that she is. We just know that Melinda is trying to connect with her, and she's just not letting Melinda have that. And she's so abrasive and so caustic, but at the same time so cruel. But yet you watch a friendship, a relationship with Belinda develop, and you just see another side of her that is such a beauty to discover. This book talks about so many things. Of course, there are different characters who are dealing with depression that you find out later and you understand why. I love the way in which it does not make it seem like, oh, someone waved a magic wand and immediately their depression vanished. No, even after we closed, after the story ended, it still continued. There was grief at loss, and how society is so unused to people being so messy and open and honest about their grief, that usually we just like being able to bundle up emotions into tidy packages and take them away. I thought that was beautifully portrayed. I love the way in which this story also handled the fact that you have three different young women who have learned to be who they are not. Belinda keeps training Mary to think she is somebody else so she can better do chores that she does not want to do. You have Belinda, who is so used to keeping her true self away that for a long time we wonder who is the real person behind that perfect mask, that facade that she shows the world. Then you have Amma, who is so tired of trying to be this person that she's not in order to appease her parents, that she just gets tired of it. This book also deals with the fact that society is so conditioned to ignore black women's pain, because this book is riddled with pain of young women, of older women, pain that society has taught black women to be proud of. Like we should welcome the fact that we are resilient. We should be proud of the fact that we can bounce back. We should be proud of the fact that nothing gets to us, that we are super women. And then society is confused when we are hurt, when we show our hurt. They do not know what to do with it. And it is such a poignant thing to see in a book. We're not always strong. Sometimes we break, sometimes we ache, and there should be nothing wrong in letting the world see that. So I love this book. I enjoyed reading it. I'm not gonna lie though, for a long time it seemed like nothing was happening. Like, sure, we were seeing London through Belinda's eyes. Sure, we were trying to understand what was up with Amma, and Mary was always popping up here and there to give respite. But for a very long time, it seemed like nothing was happening. This is not a story you pick up if you want high action or if you want something to happen. Realization, the development of the characters, it takes place slowly, over weeks, over months. So it seems like nothing happens for the longest time. And then when something does happen, you wish you could go back to when nothing was happening. Because goddamn, the last quarter of this book was painful. But like I said, I enjoyed the book. I would give it a 4 over 5. It would have been a 4.5 because like I said, it is a great book, but I took out the 0.5 because of the fact that nothing happened for so long, and I'm like, what the fuck? Initially, I wanted to take out like a full star because nothing happened for so long. I was like, what the fuck? And then the last quarter happened, and I'm like, damn. So I gave it back the 0.5 stars. So yes, 4 over 5 star. Hold by Michael Duncor. Let me know if you have any intention of ever picking up the book. If you've by chance read the book, let me know what your thoughts are and all of that, and I will see you soon, most likely Saturday. Bye.